The one thing that I see that is the common denominator with this PlayStation raising their prices, and Nintendo, I'll get to you. You just sit over there for a second. Is why are people actually complaining? That's my question. Why are people actually complaining about it? Now, I'm not saying that their complaints are unfounded. I'm not saying that their complaints are unwarranted. I'm just saying, what's the problem? The Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out at, or was coming out at the 449 price point. They've raked it back in and they want to reassess what's going on. Okay. Well, then PlayStation is looking at its own console and saying, well, I guess perhaps we're also going to revise what we're going to do with our own console. Hazard Gaming Dragon of Dojima is someone who posts on Twitter a lot, and he's been actually critical of Xbox, not in a crazy fanboy way, but I've always kind of been shocked that he does not see Xbox's proposition. Or I guess he didn't see Xbox's proposition as anything, strong, because Xbox was not doing a lot of the fanfare and singing and shouting everywhere. And I kept wondering, okay. And he said this. He said, if console gaming is reaching $900 with taxes for the PS6 and next Xbox, well, we don't know that with the next Xbox. With $80 games in the future, we don't know that with Xbox, which I'm not gonna lie. Xbox is probably going to capitalize on that. It's going to actually be something that plays right into their hands with Game Pass. In fact, gaming might get expensive, but he's just hypothesizing. He says cheap handheld or wait for PC sounds like better deal. This gen console gaming has been so underwhelming for me, especially as someone who invested not one but two platforms. Well, honestly, welcome to the club, because I invested in not one but two, and then my main PC. Got both platforms, got to play on both of them, and I'm seeing what's going on. The question that I got to ask is, why are people actually concerned about this? When the Nintendo stuff was going on, I remember some of you were telling me, well, because Nintendo fans want to dial in. Okay. But now PlayStation has gone up and raised its price, and Nintendo hasn't even given a finalized price for their Switch 2 coming out in June. What all is going on here? Well, the reality is, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, you need to be worried or you need to be doing whatever. There's always a solution, right? You can simply just go build yourself a gaming PC. And I said simply, and I will stand by that, because it's not hard. I mean, think about the demographics of folk that are watching the VG High School channel. I've shown it before. 18 to 24, 30, the 25-year-olds all the way through 38 years old. I mean, those are the majority of people. That's, in my opinion, probably the most competent set of folk that you can find anywhere that'd be able to do that. Now, some people have said, they don't want to go ahead and build a gaming PC and, they're just so much of the hassle. But you got to realize that we're in the age of information, okay? This is not necessarily something that should perplex folk of our nature. You know what I mean? Doug Dark even did something actually pretty cool. He decided that he was going to go ahead and throw out a question. And the question was, I'd like to see your living room build setups with gaming PCs. And people started to send their own builds. And if you go on Doc's timeline, it's now full of people just sharing their builds, how they've set it up in their living space, in their gaming rooms, and so on and so forth. And the crazy thing is, it's actually pretty cool to see all this stuff. Now, for someone like me, who've been gaming on PC since like 2016, it's not shocking to me, because I also have my living room build. I mean, I mix it up from time to time. I actually put one on Twitter the other day. It's nothing, impressive, because I'm not really, aesthetics is not my thing. Most of my builds are like black. I don't have like too much colors and such. But a lot of people were basically putting their screenshots of how they actually organize their builds in their living room. And believe you me, this is actually it's pretty nice. Like this person, Daniel Sherlock, they're using this case. I have this case. I put a 5800X 3D in this case and a 6750 XD, and they both the thermals were insane. I just had to take those two out because for some reason those two aren't compatible. I'll probably get me a smaller GPU that would probably not be too hot, and then that 5800X 3D can deal with it. And these are living room builds. People set their living rooms up to actually be able to go ahead and accommodate their builds, right? So this is what I think the person who may be looking at this thing like Hazard Gaming Dragon of Dojima is, that at this particular point in time, it's time to start doing the homework. I'm not saying that you should go build a PC just yet. I mean, did I say that? Maybe I did say that. But oh, you know what? Let's back up a little bit. Okay, let's back up a bit. This might be the time for you to actually go ahead and start doing the research. It takes a while. I remember before I even built my first PC by myself. I'd been gaming on PC since I was like a teenager. I think my dad, brought home a PC one time, and I had a family member who was really good with PCs at the time, taught me a lot of the ropes and so on and so forth. And then sometime in my teenage years, got one, and I was playing on that one as well. But I never built one myself. My first one that I built was in 2016 when I wanted to start doing YouTube. And after building that PC, and understanding and looking at what was going on, to me it was so valuable because the knowledge I gained was just too valuable to me. And it took a minute before I got there. So I just sat there and I just started watching. Now, yes, I'm a little computer savvy, so I kind of already knew how to, modify RAM and all that stuff. But, going to buy a motherboard and all of those things, I knew what they did. I knew what they were. So my learning curve was basically, a molehill. It wasn't anything. Some people, the learning curve may feel like a mountain. But honestly, like I said, this is nothing for y'all. Many of you can simply change your oil in your car with no problem. Some of you are technicians. You work on things like airplanes, right? Some of you build homes. Like, dude, I can't build a house, and some of you can. You know the process. Some of you can, run plumbing lines. Some of the most critical and most important things that need to be done. If not, humanity is going to be in a place of chaos because we're spoiled already. Without you guys, we're done. So this is not going to be rocket science for majority of the folk who are actually here who game and are looking at the proposition. I also can understand if you say, I don't care what the cost is. I'm just going to basically pay for the peace of mind. I also get it. But it's not going to be without any resistance, at least on your part, because that's where I think a lot of people right now are starting to see it and are starting to feel it. Why is gaming now moving this direction? Well, gaming is moving this direction because these gaming companies are trying to quickly salvage what they can. You see, their business and their markets, as many people may scream and yell and shout, oh, it's growing, they have a, how do I put it? They have a mandate to continue to pursue never-ending growth. And the never-ending growth that they have a mandate to pursue puts them in this really weird situation at the end of the day, which is definitely something that I would say, in my opinion anyways, the consumer needs to continue to, keep them humble, because consumer confidence and consumer behavior is so weird right now. It really is. So the handheld, the PC, all of these different, possibilities are there. And this is the good thing. There will still be competition. There will still be competition for hardware. But if the consoles continue to do this, they're going to lose drastically. They're going to lose drastically to PC. I mean, right now they're already losing to PC. Don't get me wrong. I mean, consoles have to actually sit there and wait for GTA 6 and the Nintendo Switch 2 to be able to pretty much go against the PC platform, which is crazy that they have to actually wait for a game and another console launch. Whereas the PC, ecosystem is one that just continues to grow regardless of some big, rollout of something. Anybody can just build a PC. There are components everywhere. There's stuff on the new market, the used market. AMD is still continuing to manufacture, and so on, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a very interesting interaction at the end of the day when it comes down to it. But I thought I'd just share my thoughts on this particular issue because it's very, it's very interesting how all of this has pretty much, gone down. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience. Talk to me in the comment section, and hopefully we can, talk in other videos. Peace out.